born in 31st of May 1916. I was born in Melbourne, in Toorak. I only was there 6 weeks and we come back. My father had a hotel in Geraldton, the Victoria Hotel. And that's where I spent the next 7 years. I started playing rugby when I was about 19. And we used to have parties. And I met Lal at a friend's place in West Perth. I asked her if I could walk her home, and I did. And we became acquainted then. We got engaged, and we were engaged for 2 or 3 years. I was in the army by then. I was absent a lot from Lal. And we finished up getting married in 1941. Lal became pregnant, and I had this opportunity to join this hush-hush group, and I took it, and I didn't tell her. So I gave her a bad time, and I never saw my daughter Geraldine until after Timor.
I met Jerry at a party. Wasn't quite 17 when I met him. And when he joined, I felt that, you didn't sort of have a future, to look forward to. You don't know when they go to war how they're coming back, or you can't sort of think or plan ahead how it's going to be like.
We were in training in Wilson's Promontory. We had these blokes there that from the UK were pretty severe. They taught us how to use explosives, how to set booby traps, how to do sabotage, and generally toughen us up altogether. The Japs came into the war at this stage, and we were assembled in Adelaide. And we eventually were sent to Timor.
February 1942. A fearsome Japanese war machine heads across the Indian Ocean towards the coast of Timor. Their intention was to seize the capital cities of Kupang and Dili. Timor could then fall under Japanese command, allowing it to be used as a stepping stone for a full-fledged invasion of Australia. Facing the onslaught was a small force of well-trained but ill-equipped militia known as the 2nd Independent Company. Riddled with dysentery and malaria, the company were cut off from their supply lines and were forced to deploy into the mountains. Acting as a guerrilla force, they executed hit-and-run tactics against the Japanese Axis.
We were hoping that we'd get reinforcements. Our officers decided that we'd be better dispersed in the hills. And we hadn't been there long when all these warships turned up. We thought at that stage they were reinforcements, but they weren't, they were the Japs. We didn't know this. I don't know why we didn't know. We should have known. But that's when they sent this detachment of young fellows in for leave, no weapons, just hopped on the back of a vehicle. and they ran slap bang into Jap patrols, and they were massacred. We lost contact as soon as the Japs landed. So we were left with these radios which were inter-platoon or inter-company, but they weren't of much help anyway. They weren't strong enough to reach anywhere outside Timor. And we had this technician bloke, he got bits and pieces, got them from down in Dutch Timor, getting batteries and what have you. And after about 3 months he built this thing, and he was managed to contact Australia, and they were very doubtful about our presence there, and they asked for some identification, and he had to give his wife's name, what have you. Japs, to me, they were very, very good soldiers, you know. They had their bad soldiers, but their top line soldiers were very good. They're very good at creeping up on you, you know. And I experienced that when we were going down to Glano Bridge with the patrol, only 7 blokes. We were going to raid the cottage there that they were living in. There was a group come out from Dili, and there were 200 or 300 men, I think. And anyway, we were moving down the road. We had a forward scout out, and I bumped into this Jap scout on a bend. Both of us took fright. You know, we're both on the road. They got the Japs there, and us here. So we went for the high ground behind us, and a couple of blokes went down the valley and that way. And we took up position on the top there, and our officer said, "We'll wait here, we might be able to get an ambush in." So we did that, and there was a bloke walking out in front, looking up at it. I said, "I think they know us, that we're here." You know, I said, "We'll get our asses out of here." And the next minute, all these chaps come in from behind us there. Well, after about 10 months in Timor, there was a consistent contact every day, or if it wasn't contact, there'd be something that would turn up, and you had this continuously, and I think I lost it about 2 months before we got out, and some of the things I'd done, I don't know. At night time, you'd wake up and you'd be scared stiff, you know. You swear that you're being attacked.
I had my daughter. He just missed seeing her by 2 weeks, and then he didn't see her again until she was 16 months old. And they, not being a bond like when they're at the birth, I don't think it's quite the same when they come back and the baby's 16 months old. Anyway, she took after him. She was full of sport and running and swimming. She was a fine pianist, and she died when she was about 24 of cancer she had in the knee. and went into her back. So she had 3 horrible years before she died. But life goes on, I guess.
After the defeat of the Netherlands East Indies, Japan's southward advance began to lose strength, easing fears of an imminent invasion of Australia. Further relief came when the United States assumed responsibility over the Mediterranean, and the first veterans of Timor began to come home.
I was a different person when I come back. I give Lel a hard time, I think. I was quite a normal person, you know, enjoying the football and what have you, and then you get away on these trips and you see all the useless things that go on there, and the useless things you do yourself, you wonder why, and then you come back and they just kick you out the army and you're back on the streets, you know, and I was loopy. I had nightmares about the, what happened, the different things that happened. Lel often says to me, "What's the matter?" I said, "I'm back in Timor." That goes on for a while.